Now we're going to start making measurements with the 6625 system using the included BridgeWorks software package. The BridgeWorks software package will start by making resistor profiles that defines all the resistors in the system. So to do that, you go to the resistor, and this window pops up here where you can type in the value of the resistor. We'll make the 100 ohm resistor, which is typically on channel 19. So we'll go 100 ohms. When you type in the 100 ohms, it will suggest all the test parameters for it already. So after that, you're left with just entering the serial number, 70694, and the asset ID number, which can be, usually, if you don't have one, you duplicate with the serial number, and the model number. We're using a 6634A, and this is the 100 ohm element. So I'll just put that in there. And then, of course, if you have calibration information, like your calibration date and when it's due, you can enter that in here for maintaining, tracking your standards. So we'll save that as 100 ohms. Okay. And so you would continue to do that for all the resistors that are up here in your working standards, and you'd have the, of course, known traceable value placed there. When that is complete, then you'll never have to enter that information again until you get new values for the standard. To make the measurements, you will go to Test, which is accessed directly on the front main window of BridgeWorks, and you'll look here at the very top of this area, and you'll see here this is a section where you can define the information of what resistors are connected to what channels on the scanner. So, for example, on channel 17, I know we have a 1 ohm resistor, so I'll load that 1 ohm, and it's right here. And if we click on Edit, you can see that there's information about it here. It's 1 ohms, and the value's there. The 100 ohm resistor we just made, we can load that here. It's on channel 19, and again, there's all the information I just previously entered. So you don't ever have to type this again. And I will load a 10 ohm resistor as well on channel 18 because I know that it's there. And once you've completed all this information, normally I would load all the channels with our standards right up to channel 25, and then I would save this with no information loaded into it. And what this is a default template. This template now, anytime you wish to run a measurement, you have no parameters set up, but you can just hit open, go to template, and what you have is all the resistors in your entire bank loaded here, ready to make measurements. You don't have to type in any information again. And so that's always a good starting point for whenever you create a new profile or a new test. And what we're going to do for the first test is we'll make a simple test of a 100 ohm resistor right here on, so type in here, channel 19, 100 ohm resistor against a 10 ohm resistor, which we know is on channel 18. When you click on the Suggest button, you see that it automatically populates a recommended test settings for your measurement. And you see here it recommends using a 20-second reversal rate for the 10 ohm and 100 ohm measurement, and we're going to go to 150 samples. You can do this, and that's one test, and then you can keep going up for as many tests as you want, and run a whole series of tests. And what we have defined here is the 100 ohm against the 10 ohm at 3 milliamps in normal ohms mode, as you can see here, at 20-second reversal rate, and we're going to do 150 samples. So when you got your test set up like this, you would just then click on Start, and BridgeWorks will come up with a message here that asks you where you wish to store your data. When you click on the OK button, you'll be given a user prompt, and this will be to pick a location to store your data. There you just enter in a name here that will create a folder with that name in the location, and all your data will be stored inside it. So we'll enter the word test and click on OK. This will generate that folder, and the test will begin.
Once you have begun your test, you basically will have to wait for the results to come in, and it'll run all the tests and log all the data automated for you. Then you'll wish to review the data. To review the data, you'll find that it's something called a test overview here in the BridgeWorks software, and it's in the view menu. So to get to the test, you'll hit View, Test Overview, and then you can file, open, and find your test data. We'll open up this test as an example. As you can see here, there's a graph in front of you, and if you want to open it up a little larger, you can see basically you have things like your serial number, your tracking information, the parameters for your test, being your voltage, current, your reversal rate, and of course the average here. Looking at the test, you can also look at the data. For example, you can take something like your data manager here, which lists all your samples for the entire test, and you can crop to wherever your settled value is. I'm going to take my value here from about 100 samples to say about 150. So I'll crop from 150, or pardon me, 100 to 150. And you hit OK, and you can see here the value then shows only the chosen 50 points and actually shows the new calculated mean and standard deviation. So being able to crop your data allows you to basically look at only the stabilized portion that's of your measurement. And of course this is very useful, as most measurements take a little bit of time to stabilize and settle in due to things like self-heating of the resistor and just overall noise and environment. It takes a little while just to get the value stabilized. We typically recommend cropping the last 50 samples of 100 as an example. So once you've done this, you can basically do this for all of your test results, and this is how you analyze data in BridgeWorks.